Hey guys, this is Mistress Nightmare here, and today we'll be reading Chapter 3 of Don't Go to Sleep, a Jeff the Killer love story. Before we get started, please hit the like button, comment, subscribe to this channel if you guys want more creepypasta fanfictions out there. Until then, let's get started. I find myself sleeping on a park bench. It appears to be in the middle of the night. The feeling of the cool, crisp air in the wind blew through the trees. I could hear noises coming from the path in front of me. I arose from the bench. My heart was beginning to beat slightly, racing as my body started to feel warm. I started walking down the dim lit path, and down halfway into my walk, I started to see drops of blood on the rocky path. Then it slowly started turning into a large trail of blood. Then I stopped, feeling that I stumbled in a pool of an unknown liquid. I suddenly felt my body freeze, unable to move. The lights dimmed around the forest, like the area I was in, and then I heard footsteps emerging from the left side of the forest. You're lucky that you're still around. A broken dolls should be thrown away. A man with a long red hair, black lips, glowing green eyes appeared from the shadows. He looked like he was very, very angry, and it made me shake a little. I wonder what he meant by that. As I said before, you shouldn't have done that, another voice said. I looked around, and through the forest I saw what looks like a boy wearing a long green shirt with a green hat, and his eyes were black with red pupils. I started to get extremely nervous. What do you mean? What did I do? I asked. The boy did not reply. Why do you hurt us so? Another voice of a little girl, brown hair covered in blood, wearing a pink nightgown, holding a teddy bear, was weeping, wiping away her tears. I became a little stunned. I didn't hurt anyone. What's going on? Please tell me. I raised my voice, feeling scared. Suddenly, I started to hear more voices coming from the forest, telling me awful things, such as, you don't belong here. You should be punished, damned. You're a true embodiment of evil. Leave. You should die. My whole body began to shake as I started to see a gang of monsters appear, looking very, very angry, and their eyes were all on me. You are really an evil little bitch, I heard a familiar voice. I looked to my right and seeing Jeff leaning against a tree. Jeff, I muttered. Then I started to feel my eyes started to tear up. You should pay for what you did, like you say, an eye for an eye, Jeff said in a deep voice. What? What did I? Then all of a sudden, I started to feel liquid on my hands. I looked down and saw my hands were covered in blood, like the light sheen above, and I could only stare in horrified as my feet were submerged in a pool of blood. Just a few feet away from me, there was a body of a dog. It was Jeff's dog. The voices became louder and more intense. Please, just stop. I didn't want this. I swear, please. I began to shout as tears streamed down my face. I covered my ears, hoping to block out the voices. I closed my eyes, shut, not to look at the horrible sight anymore. Soon enough, the voices stopped. The area around me seemed to be calming down. I opened my eyes. The whole area around me was pitch black. My hands felt like they weren't covered in blood anymore, and the area felt warm. This place, it's so familiar, I said in a low voice. Then I looked at my right hand, noticing a bag, a red and black glowing ball. Then I started to hear voices coming from the ball. Help me, please, help me. It was the sound of a little girl's voice. I started walking towards the ball. The voice started to become more frequent. When I finally arrived in front of it, the ball, I reached out. My hand touched it. Then suddenly, a hand popped out of it and grabbed my wrist. I tried to pull me into the ball. I struggled to break free and begged the thing to let go. Then I saw a pair of black eyes with purple pupils staring back at me. Mind reading freak is coming for you. Or was it mind freak? I couldn't understand. The voice changed from a little girl to an eerie, dark voice and began to cackle evilly. I began to raise up from my bed and let out a terrified scream. I stumbled for breath rapidly as tears streamed down my face. My bedroom door burst open, which made me jump when Jeff walked into the room with a knife in his hand, which made me scream again. Whoa, easy. Calm down, Alex. What the hell is going on here? Did someone break in? Jeff noticed that my body was trembling. My eyes were filled with tears. He placed the knife on the desk and walked over to my bed. I sat on the edge to my left. Without warning, he wrapped his arms around me and pulled me into a full embrace. I was shocked by the sudden sign of affection. I'm going to take a wild guess here and saying that you had another nightmare, didn't you? He asked. I didn't say a word, slightly nodding, and wrapped my arms around him. Tell me about it, Jeff muttered. Pardon? I asked. Tell me about your nightmare. It seems it really scared you. I sighed, and then I began to tell Jeff about my nightmare. Then I explained something. It was always like this. For the past 10 years, I had the same nightmare, but this one was so much more intense. In the dream, I had, for the longest time, only making me waking up in the park, walking down the path, in the end with a glowing ball calling out for help. When I finished explaining, Jeff looked a bit surprised. This nightmare is very concerning. You know why? Because part where I and the others monsters appear calling you awful things actually happened 10 years ago. My eyes widened a little in shock of the news. Are you serious? I am. You only think I will lie about this? His voice raised a little, which made me shake a bit in fear. Then Jeff took a deep breath to calm himself. Look, I'm saying that this is no coincidence. This nightmare, the mention of Mind Freak, is very concerning. I never seen Jeff so worried. This was a little odd, but I can tell he was very serious about this. Jeff, who or what is Mind Freak? I asked as he turned and looked at me with a serious gaze in his eyes. I can't tell you. Not yet, at least, Jeff muttered in a serious, low tone. After only a month with him, it seems things have gotten worse now that my nightmares are getting increasingly aggressive. How much longer does he plan to stay? Will this nightmare go away if he leaves? So many questions that I need answers, but the one question lays deep in my mind. The most attention and answers very soon. Do I really want him to leave? Hey, you made it to the end of the video. I'm glad. If you want more Ben Drowned love stories, check out the playlist that will be popping up soon. Also, if you want any more fanfictions narrations, please check out my other channel, Reading with Blade, which has multiple fanfictions up already. If you are interested in the yaoi experience, check out Tyler O'Connell's channel if you want to go there. But note that channel is only 18 and up. I've been listening to Tyler's stories and I'm addicted to them. Until then, bye guys!